When this video comes in, I'll show you some of the ways I use my phone effectively to make sure I don't procrastinate and use my phone for long duration of hours, which affects my life disturbances and breaks my flow of work and productivity. What's up, guys? My name is Iammedicar. I am currently a third year medical student in the UK, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can use your phone efficiently without impacting on your productivity throughout the day. So in this video I'm going to give an overview of some of the evidence base behind this and also some of the applications I use on my phone to help boost my productivity throughout the day. If you find this video useful, please give it a share. Please also subscribe to my YouTube channel because I've just started out. I usually do some content on Instagram, but without further ado, let's start this video. So let's start off with some of the research and evidence behind using the mobile phone. So as we know, currently mobile phone is the portal to so many opportunities and really a huge element of part of all of our lives. Although there are so many benefits of using the mobile phone, we have seen that there can be negative consequences on potentially our well-being, our productivity and life motivation. So there's been a study carried out by Elise Duke and Christian Montag. So in this investigation, they use a smartphone addiction scale to find out how they use a mobile phone in the private spaces and in the workspace, how they use that in accordance to life productivity in terms of any other uses, and how it's impacted their life and whether it could cause a disturbance in their life. So we've seen that actually there is a lot of positive relationship between the use of smartphones on productivity, but there's a huge impact actually on the number of hours spent on the mobile phone in correlation to this, and this has brought negative consequences on potentially other aspects of life. We lose a lot of time on the productivity and working on our self-development because of these mobile phones. So looking at the results analysis of this paper, it raises the question as to how we can battle the smartphone addiction and how we can use our smartphone effectively without having negative consequences on our ill health and well-being. This is where this video comes in, where I'll show you some of the ways I use my phone effectively to make sure I don't procrastinate and use my phone for long duration of hours, which affects my life disturbances and breaks my flow of work and productivity. So let's start with the financial side. So in terms of finance, I use Apple Wallet quite a lot. Apple Wallet is a very handy tool on your iPhone where you can register your credit cards, your club cards or any kind of discount cards. So when it comes to going out or doing groceries, it's very easy to make those payments very quickly and actually saves a lot of time and comes in handy when you're on the go. Also, I use some of the traditional banking apps just to Santander and NatWest just to help me see the money that's going through my account, or if I want to transfer money to someone, it allows me to do so. So another good app that I use for banking is Monzo. So Monzo is a finance managing app where essentially it helps you with your student budgeting on some of your bank accounts. So this is very important as a student because you will be spending a lot of money during university, and it's where you realize how much you're spending is key to trying to manage your finances during the term. So Monzo allows you to do this. Let's move on now to academics and career. So for me, the first app that I really use is Notion, and I've said it a lot of times, but I want to stress how amazing this tool is. So Notion, you also get on your laptop. So by having Notion app on your phone, it allows you to effectively gather and access the resources or notes or anything you've made or calendar in your Notion laptop. So it's very easy to transfer information, notes between the Notion app with your laptop and your phone. It pretty much organizes my life, so yeah, it's my lifesaver if I say that. The next app I'll talk about is Scribesy. So Scribesy actually is in sponsorship with this notebook in front of me. So basically what happens is I usually write my notes for medicine on this handy notebook. So once I have written my notes on the notebook, I can easily scan this on my mobile phone using Scribesy, and then I can put this put these scanned notes onto other online platforms, maybe on my laptop if I want to make further notes, or if I want to keep it and I'll store it digitally, electronically. It allows me to do so. So the next app I would like to talk about is Google Drive. So Google Drive is very handy when you're transferring or when you want to access media content. So this could be videos, photos, logos. This is very handy to me because when I want to transfer videos that I want to show people, or I want to post, I use Google Drive for that. And also, if there's any other documents I want to open up, so I have a lot of documents on my drive that I use, for maybe societies or organizations, and I want access to that and edit it using Google Docs, and I can do so using Google Drive. The next app is similar to Google Drive but Google Docs. So Google Docs, again, you can access interchangeably. So when you open a document in Google Drive, it will transfer to Google Document on your app, on your phone. So make sure that you have both Google Drive, Google Docs installed on your phone as well as on your laptop, and I guarantee that it will help you save you a lot of time as well. So the next app for academics, this is more medicine focused, but the BNF. So the BNF, I'm sure when you go into clinical years, is a very handy tool because it allows you to search pretty much any medication, any treatment, any treatment plan, any definition of clinical conditions, maybe it's management process. So this is very handy because in clinical placements, you'll have to do a bit more independent work, or kind of search up a lot of things during your placement time. Having the BNF app on your phone saves a lot of time when you are learning about a patient. You can just bring up on your phone, then you can look through, management or prophylaxis of antibiotics for bacterial infections, for example. I can help you on the go, especially when you're a junior doctor as well. So the next app I'd like to talk about is OneNote. So Microsoft OneNote is also another very good note-taking app, and I recommend you get it on your laptop as well. So how I use OneNote specifically for my university is I have all my notes digitally or written notes on this application, and I organize it into folders or files. Now I can annotate it with ease using OneNote's feature of annotating your notes. I can also import lecture slides with ease as well, and it just helps you organize all the content for a specific topic. So for example, let's say respiratory, it's got all the respiratory conditions, it's got each lecture, it's separated each week, etc. And I can access all of this information on my app on my phone. So this is very useful when I go into PBL or clinical skills, or I have to just read through, revise over stuff, in a short space of time. So the next step I want to talk about is a BMJ best practice. BMJ best practice essentially gives you all the evidence-based guidelines on treatment and diagnosis plans, particularly in the medical career. So when you're on placement, maybe towards your later years, you will use this app to effectively make sure that you understand the management that's currently kind of recommended by the BMJ, and you do follow the guidelines. So the app is good to use in that sense. So the next app I'd like to talk about is MD Calculator, which is similar to what you use on BMJ. So MD Calculator is slightly different in the fact that it helps you to calculate different equations, with a lot of ease. So for example, if I want to calculate in the hospital the creatinine clearance, or maybe the heart score for major cardiac events, I can do so by using this app, which has the equations already on the go. I just have to put the figures, the values in, and it helps me to calculate the scores, without having to get a calculator, get a paper, do it standard style. You've got the app, you put it in, you just put the equation of what you want to calculate, and it does it for you. It's going to be very useful when you go into your later years and when you're a junior doctor, probably not so useful when you are probably in your first, second year. The last app I like to talk in academics, medically related, is Microguide. So Microguide essentially will give you all the recommendations and guidelines in terms of what treatments are used for certain microbiology infections and how to best manage them, because there's a whole load of regulations you need to take into account when you're dealing with microbiomes and microbiology infections, and like antibiotics as well, for example. So that app is very useful to use while on placement as well. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you found this really useful. So all I'd like to do, because I've just started YouTube, I'd be so grateful if you can like, subscribe, even comment on my video on what you'd like to see on the YouTube platform. If you know me for Instagram, please follow my Instagram page. I'm doing well on there, and I'm getting loads of tips, insight into my time working, doing sports, giving you motivation, etc. So do follow me on Instagram. And also I've started a medical company called Medic Dojo. Medic Dojo is a platform that I've created to help students, aspiring pre-med students, with their interviews, and I'll be running mock interviews. I'll give you more information about that later, but for now, peace.